Hey, my Tukodiora Welcome to what I call the YouTube channel of athletics, the best in the planet. I can brag. I'm doing very well with you guys. My community of subscribers, my viewers, my snapshotters, people are just passing by, checking it out. I appreciate that tour you make around here, because it's a privilege to have an audience these days. People listening to your voice, your perspective, your views of life in athletics, competition, and all that stuff. Talking of competition, we have a second sequel of the Athlos NYC New York on the 10th of October. Yes, Serena Williams' husband decided to inaugurate this last year, an empowerment to women, a women's show night. You remember that? The Faith Kipyegon was in town. She did her thing in the mile. And it's the second year running right now that Alexis Ohanian, the husband of Serena Williams, the legend, the tennis player, is hosting it again. Is running the show again in New York on the 10th. And we have big names coming out of the World Championship. Leading the pack is Captain Faith Kipyegon in New York. New York, here we come from Kenya, JKA, to New York. Jessica Howell, the Australian, is gonna be in town. I think Mary Morad did it last year. My feeling is that she'll be back. Whether Lilian Odira, the world champion, is invited or not, I don't know the lineup yet. Kelly Atchison, the bronze medalist in the 800, is in town for the 10th of the Athlos, the Cosmos. And I think the other big name is Tara Davis Woodhall, the long jumper, the gold medalist from Tokyo, in New York again for a big one. Can't wait to see that night of women empowerment, women shining, the women's night in athletics. There's an add-on to this year's plan. And I think that Alexis has taken the cue maybe from Grand Slam and Michael Johnson, how disastrous that was. And I think he promises what we call instant cash prize for the winners and anybody who breaks the world record during that night. So he's hooked up with the sponsors of Cash App, which I have. So I might be getting some royalty for promoting them tonight or today in Korea. The Cash App is cashing up with athletes in Athlos on the 10th. You win, you get your money right on the snap. So that is a great thing for athletes. Let me just tell you why it's a big deal. Waiting for your money after you've broken the world record or you've won is never a good thing. These athletes want their money after they've just finished the race. Give me my money. That's the call at the end of the race. During the interviews, after the show, when they are maybe in the lobby somewhere, in the press booth somewhere talking to these journalists, their money should be in their phone. Cash App is cashing in with Athlos in this year. Great show. I think it's a great platform. You think about it. Ohanian, Alexis is way ahead of Grand Slam. Honestly, let's not even compare the two, because Grand Slam still owes athletes $19 million unpaid. Cash App is going to make sure those doesn't happen this year. Yes, indeed. Looking forward to this one. And I think one of the things I like about these Athlos, as much as just a women's show only, please don't even go about that gender bias. Don't even start that conversation. Women deserve their night. Give them their night. Let them enjoy themselves. Why not? Okay? The good thing about this one is that last year, if you remember, it was kind of a compressed version of maybe Diamond League, where things are happening in the night. It's a nice show. It's entertainment. It's an event. Winner takes a big chunk of money. By the way, $250,000 if you break any record that night. $250,000 for any woman. My friend, that's good money. Great money, They deserve it. And I have always said athletes or track and field or any other event in that arena is underpaid. The one thing you have to remember though, everything has to be ratified. So if you break the world record, there might be a delay to make sure that the World Athletics approve the track, you get drug tested, and then you get your money, $250,000. I don't care about the process once I break the world record if it was me. But I'm waiting for that cash. It's a great night. We're looking forward to that. They are saying that it's going to be YouTube might show this event, ESPN Plus. Some of us don't have it, but I have the DAZN. DAZN is an app you can download and maybe subscribe for that night and get that thing going. Bigger and better is what it looks like for me this year with Athlos and Lexus. That is breaking news for me. Looking forward to the 10th of October, seeing those women doing their thing on that night. Down my scroll of what is news is an athlete from Botswana. If you don't know about him, I'll introduce this athlete. Botswana is a powerhouse right now when it comes to track and field. The reason is because did you see the relay team in the 4x4? Did you see that? Did you see that 4x4 in the final day of the World Championship? But there's a different cat coming out of Botswana, a middle distance guy who was silver medalist in 2012 Olympics in London behind David Rudisha. What is his name? Nijel Amos, a 141.73 dude. Okay? This guy back then was something to watch. It reminds me of people like Ezekiel Sepeng of South Africa, was a silver medalist in 1996. Big names. If you don't know him, he was behind Woodhall from Norway back in the days, man. I'm going down history lane. Don't get me started. Stop me right there. So Amos Nijel, or Nijel Amos, the Botswanese, became a criminal when it comes to athletics. Lightly a criminal, if I may use that word. 2022, apparently he had some things in his system that were not legal. He had a cheating mechanism. Some drugs were found in his system. And this guy, I've never heard of this drug. He tested positive for what they call GW-1516, a banned metabolic modulator. The world is full of moderators, modules. He was busted for GW-1516. That sounds like a weapon for me. But yes, he was banned for 3 years. He's come back. He's been given life back in his running career. But he decides not to come back racing and doing it. He's 31. It's very hard at a certain age to come back or reboot. His career is taking a different trajectory. He's moving to Iran, Tehran, to coach the national team there. What a landing. Trust me, I have no idea what I just said. This guy is found a career in Iran. I like what he said here in his Instagram. Can I read this for you guys and maybe get excited or get confused? I have no idea. The last time I checked, I don't know whether Iran has any middle distance runners. He might find them, he might coach them, but to what level? Time will tell. You never know where athletes are coming out of this day. So he says life is full of unexpected turns, and sometimes those turns lead us to the most incredible opportunities. Today, I'm humble and excited to begin a new chapter as a national middle distance head coach of Islamic Republic of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini land. My friend, there he goes. This is a chance to share what I've learned to guide and inspire athletes and to make an impact in a different way. Sport has always been my passion, and now I get to help shape the next generation of athletes or the next generation of champions. Well, that is Nijel Amos, the silver medalist from London 2012. He had a wilderness experience after being busted of drugs. Now is in Tehran, the Islamic State of Iran. Wish him luck. Again, coaches can always find talent wherever they want to find talent. I remember Mike Koskei, he went to Finland for a few years to try to coach the Finnish track and field cross-country talent in Finland. How did that pan out? I think they had a world champion who came out, whether it was this time or not. But Mike Koskei, a legend from the 80s, 90s, he found talent in Finland. Maybe Nijel Amos will find talent in Iran. Wish him luck. That was just an update, guys. Just giving you some update. Hey, another one thing I should share here shortly, and maybe it's something you've been following. I talked the other day about Edward Sakayo Pingua, who was pretty much a victim of what I've called an overreach by the ADAC, the Kenyan anti-doping agency, which I think had to respond to an article that was floating around. It's really been getting traction online. And they are denying. They are pretty much denying. And what did I expect? At least they heard that people are very concerned of what I usually call extrajudicial suspension that happened to this guy, one of the victims. I think Kenyans have been sacrificing in the altar of purging dopers in Kenya. I think there's been an overreach. Like I said in my episode, is extrajudicial suspensions. I think some of them didn't have due process. This guy was never heard. And I still stand by what I say, that Kenya can deny all they want. They can come in front of the camera, but we haven't seen the due process according to this guy. That is the story. And ADAC apparently responded in a local newspaper. They are denying that they gave him time. I suspect, and I can look at what these guys say, they did not. They just took advantage of the fact that he had lost his phone and he fell a victim of the hard-headedness or the iron fist of the ADAC, and how they were trying to impress WADA in their standing and compliance of doping and drug testing in Kenya. Anyway, a perspective, an update. Talk to you later, guys. It's been always a pleasure. Fresh from the oven.